Hello and welcome to another edition of Stockwatch, the last one of the week. So we're just looking at what the big companies that are making up the indexes, the US indexes, can be moving and how it can be affecting the indexes as well. We've got a story coming out of Apple that their chief executive has had a $750 million payout. And this is basically based on the fact that he's capped off 10 years in the job. And a company filing with the Securities Exchange Commission in America have shown that he sold almost all of his shares that he was given for this period, and this has resulted in the $750 million figure. Now, what's happened is, because Apple have done so well under his leadership, this is Tim Cook, by the way, we've seen quite an accentuation in the prices, and it has helped along the S&P and the other indexes that it's involved in. So it's done very, very well over the course of this 10 years. And let's just give you a few figures here as well. Apple's share price has increased over 1,200% since he became chief executive on 24th of August 2011. And also the company's shares had risen by almost 200% over the last 3 years as well. So very, very significant numbers here. And obviously he's been given a golden handshake, you could probably say, and this has resulted in this payout, like I said. So the company behind the the iPhone, iPad, and all these other things that they produce has had a valuation of almost $2.5 trillion. They did want to try and get their market cap up to $3 trillion by the end of 2021. These were the early reports at the beginning of the year, but it might be a little bit of a stretch too far at the moment, so we'll see how that goes. And also just want to touch on Google, because there actually a report came out saying that they might actually reduce employees' wages if they want to work from home for a specific period of time. So there is a little bit of controversy there, because people that don't commute, they're naturally going to cut their pay. It hasn't actually been confirmed yet, but obviously it could be very, very detrimental, especially if there are grumblings from employees. So just take a look on Apple first of all today. So the last time I looked on Apple, I was looking to see if it's going to break this recent peak that we had at the beginning of the year, and to see if there was any more accentuation to the upside. It did break it, but as you can see here, we are basically hitting it and then going above it as well. So, but we are trading above the Ichimoku cloud at the moment. There is just a little bit of concern because there is a bearish divergence coming into play on the RSI, which could mean that prices are exhausted. They might start falling a little bit lower, but this will be my main direction here. If prices start coming down and break this trend line, enter the cloud, then we could be, bulls could be in trouble, but bears for the near term would be looking roughly about the $136 area, possibly in the medium term, to see if we can bring it down any lower. If we look on the intraday chart as well, as you can see, trading above the trend line and above the cloud. However, the last couple of sessions we have seen a little bit of dip in price action. So will this constitute a fall to the downside? Well, there's a bit of a stronger bearish divergence on the near-term chart, so we'll see if that comes into fruition as well. So just take a look on Google as well. Google I've been tracking for quite a long time, because I was checking this long-term trend line that I pointed out a long time ago when I started looking at Google, and we had a little bit of a hummingbird action here. We had many tests at this trend line, and finally it broke. And now we're trading above the long-term trend line. We broke this other previous top peak as well. So now, from what I can see, prices are trading to the upside. It's looking pretty good. It's looking like prices will keep pushing higher, and we'll see how high these record highs can take us. We're above the 2,800 level now, so that's quite significant as well. And just looking at the near-term 4-hour chart for intraday traders as well, as I said, trading above the trend line and the cloud. So we are seeing more of a slight bearish divergence on the 4-hour chart, but it is only slight, so we could see a possibility of prices slightly coming down. But again, a little bit like Apple, I'll be seeing if we break the trend line and then start moving into the cloud, and then that will give us an impetus to the downside, which we will then see if it comes into fruition. So just a few things to look out for, and obviously the headlines going into the weekend as well, very important for the headlines, because you know, the Monday morning opening, there could be lots of gaps, and it could be very, very favorable or detrimental for some traders, so just be aware of that as well. So thank you very much for joining me again today. This video will, as usual, go on our YouTube channel, so feel free to comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.